Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Discussions regarding Marcus Garvey Museum in St. Anne in final stages. Discussions for the establishment of a museum in honor of the life and legacy of Jamaica's first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey in St. Anne, are in the final stages. The announcement was made by Culture Minister Oliver Grange on August 17 during a civic ceremony commemorating the 135th anniversary of the birth of the late national hero. The sermon was held at the St. Anne's Bay Parish Library. Mr. Grange said, through the Office of the Prime Minister, the National Land Agency and the National Housing Trust, housing units have been completed to relocate the persons currently residing at Garvey's birth residence. He said once the relocation exercise is completed, construction of the museum will begin.
So today I'm proud to say that our efforts to establish a museum in Marcus Garvey's honor on the site of his boyhood home is almost a reality. 3 houses constructed to relocate persons who reside at 32 Marcus Garvey Way were approved by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to be erected. And already today I can tell you 2 two-bedroom units have been completed and will be handed over to the beneficiary. The Prime Minister has indicated that he will be coming to St. Anne to hand over the keys to the sisters who will be relocated on the civil heritage property. I'm happy to tell you that on the 135th anniversary of the birth of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, we have resolved the matter and we will soon be able to do the museum. The museum will be a place where every child and adult of Jamaican heritage, local and foreign base, will be able to enter physically and virtually to proudly do research, to come to know the great man Garvey was, and leave more conscious of their ancestral pedigree and heritage. It will be a space reminiscent of Garvey's focus on cultural enterprise and achievement. I'm heartened today that the completion of the Marcus Garvey Museum, conceptualized in 2011 for Jamaica 50, re-engineered during Jamaica 55, is about to become a reality within the legacy of Jamaica 60.
PSOG urges corporations to pay close attention to effluent discharge and wastewater management. The private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOG, is employing corporations that generate waste to pay close attention to the discharge of effluent and the general management of wastewater. Chair of the PSOG's Energy, Environment and Climate Change Committee, Eleanor Jones, says the group is deeply concerned about the recent contamination of the recovery that resulted in a fish kill and disrupted the use of the river for residents and businesses. She says corporations must be aware and responsible because improper water waste management poses serious risk to public health.
Contamination of rivers, streams, and gullies has serious implications for public health and the livelihood of people who live in surrounding communities and along the respective courses. Many of our rivers are used for potable and non-potable uses and interface with sectors such as agriculture and fisheries, manufacturing, housing, tourism, among others. Activities such as drinking, washing, recreational, and other uses are also affected. Our private sector should not add to what has been an ongoing and growing challenge of pollution in our surface waterways and groundwater resources. The PSOG calls on the government, inclusive of the Environment, Health and Planning authorities, to provide adequate resources for those entities with direct and indirect oversight of environment and public health areas. This support will facilitate guidance to these enterprises, as well as ensure that efficient and effective monitoring and enforcement of regulations are carried out and that corrective actions are implemented where necessary. It is important that regulations and punitive measures commensurate with violations be put in place. Individuals and corporate entities must also exercise preemptive environmental best practices and duty of care.
The culture of "I have this illegal gun to protect myself" must come to an end. This was stated by Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
There is this view in the society that we need to arm ourselves to protect ourselves. some people legitimately hold that view. That if you can't protect yourself, if the security forces can't protect you, then you should have your gun. And many people have presented defenses in court. They say, you know, I have this gun to protect myself because, you know, somebody was threatening me, and so I had to get an illegal firearm. Now, all of these things require a kind of social consensus, that we need to draw the line to say, listen, we acknowledge that your economic circumstances and poverty would have predisposed you to guns and gun culture, that your safety and security is also a challenge, and that might predispose you. But as of now, no one in Jamaica should have an illegal firearm, as of now. And we have been giving you warnings about this. And if you are caught with an illegal firearm, if you are dealing in illegal firearms, if you are trafficking illegal firearms, if you're using illegal firearms, you will face very harsh punishment. So this is a warning then. When the new legislation is passed, find a way to turn over the gun to the police. We might even give you some amnesty. Because we are going to make it unprofitable for you to have an illegal firearm. Right now, people are caught with illegal firearms. I know of a case, they get 1 year and whatever in jail. Some get suspended sentences and they're out again. But what we need to be clear on is that there must be a disincentive and a deterrent for the youngster who goes to school playing gun war, see his brother with a real gun, decide that he want one as well, go and get one. That system must change. And you have to therefore put in place strong measures, including a legislative process that changes the risk reward of owning a firearm, and the interdiction and enforcement system. Early in the year, we launched the Get Every Illegal Gun campaign. And then I said we're going to target the big fish. And then I tell you we're changing the law. So I've been giving people warning from the year, and I don't want anybody balling. Because we've been giving warning. And you're seeing it materialize before your eyes. That the people who think that they are importing guns and we don't know. We are doing it the right way. We are gathering the evidence, we are putting the case together, and we are putting it before the courts. That's what we're doing. You're not hearing us out there running up our mouths and saying all kind of things. Right? My job is I tell the country, this is what we're doing, and then I stop. And then you see the result. Because we're serious about treating with this gun issue. So all those people who are putting in the guns in the barrels, I tell you, I'm working on that element of it. I'm working very closely with the U.S. authorities. Yes, we are going to get some of those people who are disassembling the guns and putting them into the rice bag, putting them into the soap, and sending it into the barrels. We are going to get you. Yeah. Can't say me never did warn you. I grew up in Spanish Town, 56 Cumberland Road, just down from the Grassyard Market. And everybody knows Spanish Town. I went to Spanish Town Primary School, and I will never forget, that was one of the best periods of time in my life. Lunchtime come, we run out, and we find piece of bamboo or piece of board, and we make a toy gun, and we play gun war. And sometimes we're on the field playing for how long? Class call, and we're still out there playing. And everybody has this, youngsters growing up, this fascination. I went to the library, and I had my friends, and we, before we research anything else, we take up encyclopedia looking at gun. And, you know, many young people are like that, young boys in particular. So there's this fascination with gun. And then, of course, it got into our culture, gun lyrics, and the glorification of guns, and it is just a part of the culture. Now, there is a problem, however, because I did not turn out to be a gunman. And why? Obviously, parenting. I got enough education and knowledge so that I could put things into context. And the education, socialization would have ensured that my moral standing is against that. But you know, I do have friends who turned out to be gunmen and who have perished. People who I know personally, who sat in the same bench at Spanish Town Primary School. Different socialization, different parenting, and many of them did not go on to do well in school. It's a reality of our society.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell